Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. So last video, I went over 5 three-team trade, bold and crazy three-team trades that could change the competitive landscape of baseball. And it's in the description down below, as well as a bunch of other videos, including all of my videos from my 30 on 30, which I just completed, and as an off-season breakdown of every single team with predictions as well. So if you're new to the channel, take a look in the description down below. Be sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification next to it, because this channel is for you if you like good baseball content. And I'm going to continue putting out some good stuff. So today, I'm going to go over my 5 trade destinations, of 5 bold trades for Francisco Lindor. And now we're going to get serious, because my video after this, I'm going to do 5 bold trades for Nolan Arenado. Okay, and then there's a couple of other players who I'm going to do after this. I'm going to go over some pitchers as well, and some other players too. So those are the videos that are going to be coming up next. You're not going to want to miss them, so be sure to hit that subscribe button right now if you haven't done so yet. So with that, let's get to the 5 trade destinations. And I'm going to work my way up from 5 to 1. All these teams obviously need somebody like Francisco Lindor. He's a top 5. He's a top 5 player in baseball, top 5 player in baseball. He's a generational talent. He's only 26, so he may have just turned 27, but you know he can change an entire team's projection, change an entire team's lineup, their offense. He improves defense. He does so many things. That's why he's such a special player. And there's not many like him. You're talking about, you have him and Trout and Mookie Betts, and Nolan Arenado and a couple other players in one hand. Those are the 5 best players in baseball. And he's one of them. And any team that trades for him would be lucky to have him. Now, I'll say this, if they traded for him, he has 1 year left of team control before he becomes a free agent. He's going to cost a ton of money regardless, but had he been traded 2 years ago, even a year ago, the Indians would have extracted an even bigger package in return. They're still going to get a big package no matter what, because it's Francisco Lindor. But he's going to, and any team that trades for him is obviously, again, I would imagine, is going to be positioned to sign him to an extension pretty quickly. But that'll be part of the agreement already, like it was with Mookie Betts. Okay. And with that, let's get to the teams. Number 5, the New York Mets. Okay, yeah, they have a clear need. I mean, they have some 2 of their top 5 prospects are shortstops, and I think one of them might have made the majors this past year, but they're not Francisco Lindor, and not many shortstops are. And there is a big shortstop free agent extravaganza next year. It's going to be the would-be free agents would be Francisco Lindor, Javi Baez from the Cubs, Carlos Correa from the Astros, and Trevor Story of the Rockies. My personal opinion is I'm going to guess or predict that at least 2 of them are going to be traded and signed to an extension before they even get to free agency. So I don't think all 4 are going to become free agents. I just don't. And it's just kind of this, which would also, any team that, that's why I should say teams should be going after like shortstop players like Marcus Semien right now and Didi Gregorius, because competing against those other guys in terms of getting a big contract and so on and so forth, it's going to be really hard next year to do that. So I would take advantage of getting those 2 guys if you're a team that doesn't plan on going after those big dogs next year. This is a year to get the next tier of shortstops as well, who can still be of tremendous impact. But New York Mets, for Francisco Lindor, I have them giving up Ronnie Mauricio as their shortstop, top prospect, Michael Conforto, an outfielder, and JT Ginn, who's a right-handed pitching prospect. Yes, it's a hefty package, but I don't see a scenario where the Cleveland Indians get less than that for Francisco Lindor. I just don't. I could be wrong, but this is the Indians, and this is Francisco Lindor. I don't see him getting any less than that. And if somebody like Josh Hader, the packages they're talking about for Josh Hader are like through the roof, there's no way it's not going to be through the roof for the Mets. And again, he would change that team more than any of these guys would. And again, the Mets have another top shortstop prospect or an infield prospect. They could even move over to second base with Cano out. You never know. They have a young nucleus. I think Lindor would also help make players like Pete Alonso better. Give him a little bit more of a balanced lineup. He's a solid, he's an elite level defender. He's an elite level contact bat from the lefty side, and it gives the Mets more balance from the offensive on their lineup. He would make their infield defense a hell of a lot better, just like he would any team. And he would also, help improve the base running of that team. So it's multiple levels of impact that a player like him provides. So I think at the very least it would cost that. It may cost more, but I think this is the floor of the package again. Ronnie Mauricio, Michael Conforto, and JT Ginn. Okay, number 4, the Los Angeles Angels. I think it would cost them Kyron Paris. I think he's a top shortstop prospect. He's their number 5 prospect. Reed Detmer is their number 2 prospect, who's a left-handed pitcher. And Jordan Adams, who's their number 3 prospect, an outfielder. Now, you never know. I mean, they might, Cleveland probably will ask for Joe Adell. And I don't see that happening, but crazier things have happened. But this is an opportunity to get a top, 3 of the top 5 prospects from the Angels. That's a hell of a package, okay? They get an infielder, a left-handed pitcher, to eventually put in there with Bieber and Plesac and those guys, and Jordan Adams, an outfield prospect. So, which gives the Angels depth. I mean, there's talk about the Angels signing, Jock Peterson and some other players to get an expensive free agent outfielder. Well, here's an opportunity to extract the top outfield prospect in a trade. It's the thought without having to give 60, 80, $100 million to somebody, okay? Because they're going to wind up having to extend them anyway. But if there's very few owners in baseball who have the resources to do it, and Artie Moreno is one of them. So that's the package I think that the Angels would have to give up for Francisco Lindor. Number 3, the New York Yankees. I could see him going to the Yankees, and I could see, provided, I should say with a little bit of a caveat, provided they re-sign DJ LeMahieu. Because that gives them a little bit more flexibility in the infield, in which case I would move LeMahieu over to first base, Gleyber Torres to second, plug in Lindor at shortstop, and keep Gio at third base, which means Luke Voit would be one of the major pieces of this trade. Major League home run leader, and, top bat. He's got 3 years of control left, which helps achieve Cleveland's goal of cutting payroll and getting good production for lower payroll. Now, all these trades do. Okay, they would also get Miguel Andujar, another player with 3 years of control, who can, play DH. He could play first base. He could play outfield. He could do other infield positions as well. So it gives them versatility because he's a multiple position player. Now they're getting 6 years of team control, and they would also get Clark Schmidt, who's the Yankees' number 2 prospect, a right-handed pitcher. To me, he's a little bit, if he stays healthy, he's Kerry Wood-like, in my opinion. And that would be a heck of a package because then they would be getting a power pitcher as well to plug in behind Bieber and Plesac, and who also has, I think, 4 or 5 years of control. And this is all for 1 year of Francisco Lindor. So that's a hefty package from any of these teams because, I don't think any of these teams would make this deal unless there was a tentative agreement or something ready for signing him to an extension. Okay, so again, we get Luke Voit, Miguel Andujar, and Clark Schmidt. That would be hefty. That would hurt for the Yankees, but that'd be a painful one. But it would be a worthwhile trade, I think. Number 2, Milwaukee Brewers. They would be giving up Bryce Truang, who's their number 2 prospect, a shortstop, second base player. Ethan Swile, who's their number 3 prospect, a left-handed pitcher, and J.P. Frierson, who's a right-handed pitcher for the Major League level team. So again, they would get 2 top 5 prospects and an already established Major League pitcher, who I think is a starter, if I'm not mistaken. That's a pretty good package as well. They might need to give up a little bit more, but I don't. And two top 5s and a Major League starter or a Major League pitcher, or a starter or reliever or long reliever, is a good package for Francisco Lindor from any team. And again, he would make that team a hell of a lot better. You plug him in shortstop. They've had a shortstop need for a while, and again, he put him in there with Christian Yelich. Oh, Lorenzo Cain. Oh man, but him and Yelich would be probably the most dynamic or one of the most dynamic 1-2 punches in baseball. So Milwaukee Brewers, and the number 1 team obviously would be the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now this would be an embarrassment of riches, in my opinion, but I could see it happening. The Dodgers would have to give up Gavin Lux, who's their infield stud prospect, who was a Rookie of the Year in first base, third base, and Keibert Ruiz, who was their top catching prospect, but he's also blocked at the Major League level by Will Smith, who's their starting catcher. but he's also is a top 3 prospect for them. And Chris Taylor, who's their starting shortstop currently, who has a couple of years left of team control. But from Chris Taylor to Francisco Lindor is a clear upgrade. And again, what they can do is move Corey Seager over to third base, and instead of re-signing Justin Turner, and then you would have Seager, young player, Lindor, young player, and then continue kind of around the infield with that young dynamic lineup. But adding Lindor, and you got Betts last year, and all these other young players, oh my God, they would be sick good. So those are my 5 bold trades, and I think they're the best destinations for Francisco Lindor. There could be a wild card team in here, and I would not be surprised if there was, like the Cincinnati Reds or someone else coming in and blowing some of these teams away, or even the San Diego Padres if Fernando Tatis would be willing to move over to second base or some craziness like that. Crazier things have happened. And teams have shown a willingness to be aggressive right now, especially these ones that are being more competitive now. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit that thumbs up if you did. It's helpful to the channel's growth. And again, hit that subscribe button and the notification next to it. You're not going to want to miss the next one. Like I said, it's going to be 5 bold trade packages and proposals for Nolan Arenado. So be on the lookout for that. It's coming soon. Take care of yourself. Be safe. See you then.